Hi, it's your lucky day. We are going to work on 5-2, parallel and perpendicular lines. So, the first thing you need to know is parallel lines never meet. They look like this. And perpendicular lines, they do meet, and they meet in a 90-degree angle. A 90-degree angle, you could take a piece of paper and put in the corner and it will fit perfectly. It's a right angle. Now, if you have two parallel lines and they are cut by a transversal, so a transversal is just basically a line that goes through two parallel lines. So this is our transversal right here. Then every single angle is one of two answers. It is either this answer or it is this answer, because the green and the blue there, they form a supplementary angle, which is 180 degrees. Now, these are congruent because of vertical angles, and these are congruent because of vertical angles. And then down at the bottom, you have the same exact thing, the vertical angles giving you the congruencies. There's some special words for these congruent, not only vertical angles, but this is called corresponding angles. We're going to get to that actually in a minute. So right now we're just going to write down the congruent angles. So angle 1 would be congruent with 3, and then 5, and then 7. All of those are the same measure. So if you look at angle A, go ahead and hit pause and see if you can get this right answer. And then the last one over here is Z. Try that again. Okay, this time we're going to find the measure of all of the rest of the angles. So if this is 150, we know that these two form a 180 degree angle. So 180 minus 150 is 30. So this would have to be the 30-degree angle. And then these are vertical angles, and this comes over here. Those are actually called alternate interior, and this is another vertical angle. Same with this is 150 because of a vertical angle. This right here says 150. These are alternate interior. They're on the inside of the parallel lines on the opposite side of the transversal. And then this is 150 degrees as well because of vertical. Okay, here's our missing angle. 180 minus 135. So 10 minus 5 is 5. 7 minus 3 is 4. So this would be 45 degrees. So then this is 45, and this is 45, and this is 45. And then the 135 are the rest. And if you want to kind of like look at this even more deeply, this is a linear pair. This right here is also a linear pair. This right here is also a linear pair. And then these two are a linear pair. So there's linear pairs as you go all the way around. That's why they have to be the same. Okay, 180 minus 25. So 10 minus 5 is 5. 7 minus 2 is 5. And then you have the 1. So this angle right here is 155 degrees. It makes sense. It should be pretty big. So this is 155, and this is 155, and this is 155. And then the 25 are all these little ones. So we're going to name all the angles congruent to 1. So 9, because those are those alternate interior, and then 9 to 3 is a vertical angle. 3 to 7 is an alternate interior. 7 to 5 is a vertical. Also, 5 to 3 is called a corresponding angle. 9 and 7 are called corresponding. So there's all these different words. But the answers are 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So 2 matches up with all the even numbers. And then it says name a pair of supplementary angles. Now, there's quite a few answers here. 1 and 10 are a pair of supplements. 2 and 3 are supplements. 2 and 9 are supplements. 9 and 8 are supplements. 3 and 8 are supplements. And then there's 4 more answers because there's all of these. 4 and 5. 4 and 7, 7 and 6, and 5 and 6. So these pairs all add to give 180. Basically, every even number paired with every odd number in this case is going to give you a supplementary angle, adding up to 180 degrees. That's what supplementary means. So now it says if the measure of angle 1 is 75, find the other angles. So if this is 75, this one would have to be 180 minus 75, which is 105. So 3, 5, 7, and 9 all equal 105 degrees. And then 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10 all equal 70. Whoa, I just did that backwards. All the evens are 105. Hopefully you were like, what is going on? And all of the odds are 75. That looks better because 1 is an odd number and 1 is equal to 75. Now it says name a pair of vertical angles. So, these right here are vertical angles. They share 2 lines, and that's what makes them vertical angles. So 2 and 8, and 3 and 9 are also vertical angles, sharing those 2 lines. And then 4 and 6, and if you can see on all this markings, 5 and 7. And then it says if the measure of angle 1 is 90 degrees, it does not look like that, but we're just going to go with the words here. So GH is this line right here. And if this really was 90 degrees, then this line AB would be perpendicular to GH. It would really look like this. AB would be perpendicular to GH. And if 2 lines are perpendicular, they hit at a 90-degree angle. These lines or segments are just written with the 2 endpoints. And they are segments because it looks like that. So AB would be perpendicular. That means perpendicular to GH. Those segments are perpendicular because it says so. It does not look that way. Okay, find the measure of angle 1. Well, if this is 60 degrees, this would have to be 60 degrees. And then 1 and 2 are a linear pair, adding to give you 180. So this would have to be 180 minus 60, which is 120. Number 8 says find the measure of angle 2. Well, these are alternate interior is what they're called. We have two parallel lines in red. We have the transversal cutting these. I'm going to make it in black. And so the blue markings are both on the inside, the interior of these parallel lines, and they're on the alternate side of this transversal. So these are called alternate interior. So they are the same. I'll put that alternate interior angles. Okay, next up it says find the measure of angle A. 4. So, if we were to just kind of continue and write all of these answers, so 2 would have to be the same as 6, and 6 would have to be the same as 4. All of those being the 60 degrees. Those are all of the acute angles. Acute angles mean smaller than 90 degrees. And then all of the rest are obtuse. These are the bigger angles, 120. And you can tell they're bigger. If you put a piece of paper in the corner, they'll be bigger than 90 degrees. So the measure of angle 4 is 60. And the measure of angle 6 is 60. And the measure of angle 3 is 120. And the measure of angle 5 is 120. And the measure of angle 7 is 120. Oh my. Okay, we will actually stop there. I'll start a different video doing this section. If you're feeling ambitious, you can do practice B right now. I'll be right back with you. Have a lovely evening.